All right, guys, we've got Coach with us. So we'll go ahead and have Coach open us with an opening statement. And then same thing as always, guys, get your hands raised and we'll get you in the queue. With that, we'll let Coach take it away.
Yeah, good energy today. First day in shoulder pads. Had some good physical play. Got some inside runs, some perimeter drill. Finished the day in the red zone. D-line really had a nice day, pressuring the quarterback. I counted 6 sacks and really did a nice job of pressuring us. DBs contesting catches and being really physical. I think we had 1 turnover for the day too. It was Stacy Brown had an interception, so it was a nice day of work for both sides. But those were kind of the highlights of the day. So with that, I'll open it up for questions.
Clint Switzer. Clint, you're first. Go ahead.
Hey, Coach, I was just kind of curious as to how Connor Bazelak has been looking coming off of an injury last game of the season last year, kind of versus what your expectations were as far as how he's moving and things like that.
Well, I didn't really have any expectations, to be honest. I wanted him to be the best version of himself and, didn't watch anybody's film, just let these guys come out and perform for us every day. He's done, he has good plays, bad plays. He's growing, learning, making mistakes, going back, answering the bell, trying to fix them. He's got a teachable spirit and he's fine. He's battling. Nobody's really taking a step ahead of anybody else. He's right there in the mix.
Ben Arnett from KOMU. Ben, go ahead.
Eli, Kiki Chisholm earned that number pretty quickly. What have you seen from him in the early days of camp? I know you had high expectations.
Yeah, I think 2 things about Kiki is he's incredibly grateful for every opportunity he has. He loves training table. He loves the weight room. He loves the training room, the treatment he gets, the opportunity that he has to be a Missouri Tiger. I think he's really taken advantage of it. He's put on 8 pounds of muscle since he's been here. So he's been really grateful. And 2, he's been consistent. He's been consistent. He's been out there every single day, does what we ask him to do, takes the lion's share of the reps and goes up and makes plays. So we're excited about him and we're glad he's here.
Gabe DeArmond, you're up next. Go ahead, Gabe.
Yeah, Eli, kind of 2 parts to this. I know when you got the job, Tristan Castillo had already declared for the draft. So I'm curious if there were, that's a process, if there were conversations about him maybe staying in the process of getting to Mike Maietti, and then also just bringing a guy in who's got that much experience and probably asking him to be a leader on a group that doesn't have as much. How hard is that for a first-year guy to do?
I didn't have any conversations with Tristan. By the time I got the job, he'd already signed with an agent, which nullifies your amateur status. So that one was not it. We had 3 practices in spring and just felt like at that point Case Cook was not out there practicing. So we just felt like we needed some more people who'd snap the football. Mike's been a 3-year starter at Rutgers, a guy that's played a lot of football. He's competed in some really big games. And so we were excited to get him, and it was just a matter of opportunity, meeting another opportunity. We're glad he's here.
Mitch Forty. Mitch, go ahead.
Sorry. Eli, I'm curious, how did Kiki Chisholm first come on your all's radar?
I think he put his name in the portal. And then at that point, there was some family connection that his parents had somebody that was close to here that let us know that Mizzou might be interested. I think it came down to Mizzou and a Pac-12 school and maybe another SEC school or something. I really don't remember all that. But when his name popped in the portal, we got word, and then we started doing our research as quickly as we possibly could and went from there.
Dave Matter, go ahead.
Eli, with the grad transfers, when you can't really meet them in person, and what's kind of the sales pitch to them, and how much homework do you have to do to get the right kind of guy for your program?
Yeah, we did the same thing we've been doing with most of our recruits, but a lot of FaceTime calls, Zoom calls, position meetings through Zoom and FaceTime, and getting on the phone call with parents. You have to do a tremendous amount of research anytime you're adding somebody to your locker room. And somebody who could potentially take somebody else's spot. There's always a chance to ruffle feathers. And, for us, core value number 1 is always compete. We've made that clear since we've been here. Every day you've got to earn your position. Nothing's given to you. You got to go out and earn it every day. That's life. That's life at Mizzou football. And I think the thing we sell is just, we've had a lot of really good experiences with grad transfers in our history. Coach Hammond and I had a grad transfer. Adam Kennedy started quarterback at Arkansas State all the way back in 2013 when this was a popular thing. 2016, we had Joe Selfo at NC State, came in and was a starting center for us in the 2016 season. Obviously, I've had Ryan Finley, who was a grad transfer, was a 3-year starter, all ACC player, a drafted pick. So have had success implementing guys into the locker room and understand how that culture goes. And so I think that's probably the biggest thing, is that we understand it, have done it, and have proven success with it.
Megan Strickland, go ahead, Megan.
Hey, Coach, I was just wondering, with a lot of schools in Missouri, and especially Kansas City, postponing or canceling their football seasons, how do you plan to evaluate high school players, especially seniors, who don't have the chance to play this year?
Yeah, Megan, those are the young men that I feel the worst for about this situation, because there's not really a good answer for that. There's no way to really evaluate any type of tape. There's no film to evaluate. We didn't have them on campus for camps. So I really don't have a great answer. We're doing the very best we can with the information we have, with their junior tape, what they put on film, and whatever they can show us. But that's the real challenge. And we can't even have them on campus now to at least get a physical evaluation of them. So it's a real challenge for us, and I'm not sure there's really a lot of answers out there for that, Megan. It stinks.
Nate Edwards, go ahead, Nate.
Coach, it always seems like the defense starts out a little faster than the offense does in fall camp. Were the sacks and the interception today, was that just defense being good or an offense not executing appropriately?
Well, anytime the defense does something good, I naturally think that the offense stunk it up. So that's just my perception of things, but sometimes I try to give the defense credit. They're making plays. I mean, everybody's got to win their one-on-ones. You got 11 people, they all got a one-on-one, and they got to win their one-on-one. And whoever does that is, best collectively is going to have the best opportunity to be successful. And defensively, they're winning their one-on-ones today in the red zone. Whether that was one person breaking down or whether that was a great stunt and we had 2 people come free, or Stacy's ball was a tip ball. We talk about all the time, tip balls or pick balls. So it's a combination of both. And
Peter, go ahead, Peter.
Hi, Eli. I was wondering, so the O-line was kind of up and down last year, as I'm sure you saw when you were evaluating film. How's it kind of looked right now? I know you said obviously there were 6 sacks today, but how much progress have you seen from last year?
Yeah, I don't know anything about last year. I didn't watch last year's tape. Haven't watched our offense. Haven't put anybody on tape and said, I'm going to see what they did last year. Last year was last year. This is this year. I've got fresh ideas, fresh perception. Whatever anybody does now is what they do now for me. So I don't know what they were asking them to do within their scheme. I don't know what they were coached to do. So I can't make a true evaluation of that. I evaluate them on what they're doing right now. So I have no idea if they were up and down, excellent, whatever. Doesn't faze me a bit. Today, right now, as a collective group, we're still trying to figure out who our best 5 are going to be. And we got to identify those as soon as we possibly can so that they can learn to work as a unit. And we're not there yet. So we got some work to do.
So you just, out of curiosity, you didn't watch any of last year's games just to kind of get a sense of the talent on the roster?
No. I watched last year's games if I was evaluating. When we were preparing for South Carolina and Vanderbilt, I watched the South Carolina Vanderbilt game from a schematic standpoint only. So I don't even know what guys' numbers were. No, didn't watch it.
Eric Blum, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned a lot about Kiki, but tell me a little bit more about your impressions of Damon Hazleton and why does a pair of graduate transfer receivers work with this group?
Well, I think it's an opportunity for those guys to shine and have a great opportunity for them to play in the SEC, compete against the best. Dame's a guy that's got great catch radius and he's been working really hard. We got to continue to work to keep him healthy. And so that's what we're doing right now.
Andy Kimball, go ahead.
Hi. I know with Kiki and Damon, those are both really kind of big physical guys. How important is having size for you at the outside receiver position, or with having that kind of size?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bonus, right? I mean, you can't coach size. So it's always great. Corners tend to be a little bit smaller, so having the opportunity to have guys with size gives you a better catch radius. But we got some really good wide receivers that aren't named Kiki and Dame. You know, Jalen Knox has really stood out so far. Dom Jacinto's had a good day, had several good days. Towski Dove has been, somebody that's caught our eye. Chance Looper made a really nice grab yesterday, earned a number today. He's still swimming in the offense yet. But, there's a lot of guys. I mean, obviously Barrett Bannister's been a guy that's been consistent and makes plays. Knows the offense, gets everybody lined up. So there's a lot of talent in that room that we're excited about, and it's not just two people.
Colin, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Sorry, on the tick of wide receivers, you have, like you mentioned, Barrett inside, Dom inside, Jalen potentially inside this season. Just what kind of flexibility do you have at that interior wide receiver position, and maybe having multiple of those guys on the field at the same time?
Yeah, I mean, great flexibility. Guys learn a lot of positions. Coach Hamden, being able to teach it from both a quarterback and a wide receiver perspective gives people the opportunity to learn the entire concept instead of just knowing their position. And so allows us to try to create some mismatches with the inside guys and outside guys, and look forward to doing that.
Natalie Jones, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Hope you're doing well. When you talk about Damon Hazleton, what do you need to see from him in order to earn that number, and what are some maybe good things you've seen from him throughout this fall camp so far?
And routes on air and has been consistently healthy, but he's still battling a few lingering, not injuries, but just nagging stuff that's kept him out of some team. And you got to make a play to earn a number, and so he'll make it. And I'm not stressed about it. People are making their plays, making their numbers, but again, it's just part of the nothing's given, everything's earned, and so. When he makes a play, makes a great block, runs the right route perfectly and throws and catches on it at third down or whatever it might be, then his position group and position coach will find it fitting to give him a number.
All right, next one comes from Suichi's iPhone, apparently. Suichi, go ahead.
My internet is currently down, unfortunately, so I'm using data. Hey, Eli, I know you mentioned you've had successes with grad transfers in the past. I was just wondering, what's kind of your coaching philosophy on taking, grad transfers? I know some coaches kind of shy away from it. Some coaches grab a bunch.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about creating quality competition at a position of need. You can never have too many great players, and if there's a position where you need some quality depth because maybe you don't have the guys that you felt like, and with the transfer portal and all the different stuff that occurs, or maybe the NCAA has punished you with 81 scholarships or something like that, and you got to find quality depth, or quality starter. I mean, either way.
Gabe, you're up again. Go ahead, Gabe.
When you said looking to get the five best on the offensive line, is your philosophy more, I want to find the five best players and I'll move them to whatever position to get those five guys on the field, or would you prefer to lock a lineman into a spot and then find the best guy just among that competition?
I want my five best players on the field. I mean, your second best guard, maybe your 10th best offensive lineman. So we're going to try to find our five best and form a cohesive unit. Obviously, your tackles are a little bit different type body sizes than guards and centers, so that doesn't always work. But we like to recruit athleticism. The previous staff years left us some good players that we've got to mold and shape into what we want to have it as. And so we're going to work on trying to find the five best. And I don't know if Eric Blum's playing like fetch with his dog or something, but anyway.
Dave Mack, go ahead.
One other when you've got a D2 guy in the portal, do you have to do a little extra homework, just some scrutiny to make sure he's this level is for him?
Yeah, I mean, you got to make sure you make the right calls and talk to different people, and we felt comfortable with the amount of homework we did and knew that he was the right type of person. I mean, obviously it's great to recruit talent, but you got to recruit the right type of people to form a football team. And everything we heard about him is exactly what we got. So we're excited about it.
All right, Eric Blum, go ahead.
Holy cow.
Yeah, sorry, my dog decided it was time to play right now. But in terms of actually giving the guys numbers, is it something formal, like presentation to give them, like in front of the team, or is it just here's your number, wear it tomorrow practice type of deal?
Yeah, they get it in the team. They get it in the team meeting. In front of the team. I mean, they know what their assigned number is. Everybody's got an assigned number, but they just have a blank jersey until they earn the ability to put that number on the jersey.
Okay.
All right, guys. Last one comes from a guy on his last day on the job with KRCG. Common, go ahead. Save the best for last today.
I appreciate that, Sean. Hopefully you can hear me because my audio wasn't working yesterday. But, Coach, for you, obviously a lot of question marks with the O-line and quarterbacks, but you got a couple good running backs returning. What do you see in Larry and Tyler?
Yeah, I think Larry's done a really nice job picking up our schemes, understands, the way the plays are designed and where to stick his foot in the ground, and he really trusts it, which is nice. And Tyler presents a lot of versatility for us. And people know our history on offense with just all of our coaches. We pride ourselves in making sure that our running backs are versatile and try to create mismatches with people on the field. And so that's going to be fun.
All right, guys, I think that's it for Coach today. We'll wrap that up. Reminder, we're off tomorrow, so no availability for Coach tomorrow. So thanks, guys.
Thank y'all. Yep. Dude was playing fetch. I had never seen that.